Let's talk about some high performance buildings and welcome Jeremy Attema.
Hi, my name is Jeremy Attema, and I'm with Stoke. We are a real estate sustainability consulting firm, and I'm here this evening to talk about the unsung benefits of high-performance building, the money, not the upfront capital, but the return on investment from this for the occupiers of these spaces. To start, we need to define what is a high-performance building. We define it as optimizing building efficiency, enhance occupant experience, and to minimize the environmental impacts from design to demolition. An example of this is actually our office, DPR Construction office that we share with DPR Construction in San Francisco, California. Not only was it the first net zero energy building in San Francisco, it was designed not only for net zero capabilities, but it was designed for the occupant in mind. And typically, if anyone's been in a project design meeting, what the tangible benefits used to justify sustainable initiatives are utility and maintenance savings. And so what we've done is we've developed a white paper to test that, and based off of our own experience and academic and industry research, is that it equates to about $1.80 per square foot combined in utilities and maintenance savings. For a 50,000 square foot building that we used. Oftentimes, that's not enough to justify a lot of the innovative sustainable features that we want to put on to implement in a building. So what are some of the other tangible benefits? Well, we look at employee productivity, retention, and health, and bring those to the decision table. And the basis behind this is the 110, 100, 1,000 ratio. For every $1 in design, you spend $10 in construction, $100 in operation, and $1,000 on the people occupying or the employees of that space over the life of a building. People are your greatest asset. Another supporting slide here is the U.S. macroeconomic shift in the S&P 500 value, how we value companies. We no longer value companies based off of their tangible assets. We value companies based off their intellectual capital, or in other words, their people and their ideas and their thoughts. So we need to stop putting people in spaces like this, where there's no regard to occupant performance at all in this space, and start putting people into spaces like this. Slide. Where we have natural daylight coming into the space, where it's very ventilated, there's acoustic attributes, there's access to the outdoors, and something not pictured here is biophilic elements in part of the space. They're very comfortable for people working there. And so we just started continuing our research in this, and we've been fortunate enough to have access to a culmination of academic and industry research to justify the impacts of certain design decisions on occupant performance in spaces. So we developed a methodology to bring these to the decision table. So for productivity, you can take average revenue per employee, multiply it by a percentage productivity enhancement. And for this example, we use a 10% profit margin for this company that occupies the space. And what that equates to is about $7.60 of profit per square foot due to a productivity enhancement of 3%. That's a 50,000 square foot office with about 280 employees as our case study building. Other components are the separation costs or retention, like I touched on earlier. The cost of separation can range from 90% to 200% of an employee's salary. All of those criteria around that wheel are different costs or revenue loss components that go into that 90% or 200%. So what we've done is taken that data, apply an average employee salary of $59,000, put a 90% cost of separation like we saw on that previous slide, you get a $53,100 cost of separation per employee. Multiply that by a 30% average separation rate, which we get from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, that people leave their job 30% on average per year. And that equates to $9 per square foot in savings due to increased retention of 10%. That's massive for any company that manages their own employees. If you can return that kind of investment, that's huge. And lastly, we have health findings. You have an average revenue per employee per day. Apply a 30% reduction amount of sick days, equates to about 1.5 days of additional time at work. Again, applying a profit margin to that revenue. And again, using the 50,000 square foot a building with 280 occupants in that space, that equates to $1.40 per square foot in savings due to a reduced absenteeism of 10% for having a high-performing, healthy building. Combine all of these components together, utilities and maintenance savings, increased employee productivity, increased retention, increased health, equates to about $20 per square foot per year in profit for those occupying those spaces. So if you had a $20 per square foot premium in your space, you would have a single payback year to pay back for that cost premium. And so my closing statement here is we need to change our first cost thinking to opportunity cost thinking and really start designing high performance buildings for our spaces so we can have some more high efficient buildings here in our economy. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Jeremy. That was really inspiring. Thanks. Can you give us one follow-up question? Can you give us the 1, 10, 100, 1,000 again? It seemed really important. I just wanted to underscore it.
Yeah, the 110, 100, 1,000 ratio is for every $1 you spend on design, you spend $10 on construction, $100 on the operations of a building, and $1,000 on the people of that building, your employees, over the life of a building. So we argue that if you spend a little bit more on that $1 in that design, you're going to see that return later on.
Got it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks.